This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Seabass is in the house, Australia's greatest netballer.
She loves
Hey,
that.
can we talk about what you thought of the netball grand final on Saturday evening? There were so many people watching it. I'd love to see it. We haven't seen it yet, but the figures,
The figures
for Fox,
were, yeah.
who were broadcasting.
Yeah, look, netball once again, strength to strength this season, not just with crowd numbers, but with people tuning in as well. I was a bit apprehensive going into this game because I know what it's like as a player when you win a lot leading into a grand final and you have the week off before. Sometimes it's nice to have the consistency and the routine of...
To keep you sharp, iron sharp as iron, as my friend
iron
Shaun
sharp
says.
as iron, you know
Write
it.
it down. Your next tat.
Write it down.
We
Your next
knew
tat,
they
put it on
had
your
to
forearm.
travel, obviously, so going into enemy territory, which lots of people said, it's not fair. They played in Melbourne's, home state and things like that. But we knew the grand final was going to
that's
be
right.
there, so they would have prepared for that. But I just don't think Fever would have been happy with that last game because they didn't play well.
It wasn't the way that they normally play. And I mean, part of that was down to the Vixens did play an extraordinary game. They played out of their skin. So they played probably at about 110% of what they'd previously been playing, and we were at about 80. And so that becomes a bit of a difference. And that ultimately was only one goal. So you go, it's tight.
Yeah, and that's the thing, a one-goal win, obviously, you go back and you pick through every single mistake.
of course
don't
you do.
And, Fever were down by 6 goals in that last quarter as well. So
Yeah,
they
that's
actually
because
came
they
back-
wouldn't shoot. They wouldn't take the shot that was there in the
super
third
shots,
quarter.
Yeah, so they came back well, and I reckon if they had another minute, they might have been able to sneak that win. But, I mean, look at their season. They've had an incredible year. Since Janelle Fallon-Nemard's come back, they had this incredible winning streak. They've
13
had
games.
record crowd. So, I mean, they've got their awards on Saturday night, and I know
you're going?
I will be there, and I know there's plenty to celebrate because it has been a fantastic year. But when you fall short by that tiny margin, it's hard not to be stupidly disappointed.
You would,
You're gonna get
that's
loose?
right.
Yeah. Am I going to get loose? Nah, it's not my style, Shaun.
Really?
Nah, I'm not. I'm a good girl. I don't
Who
really
in the
do that
Fever
much.
will? Kelsey, right? Kelsey will get loose.
Oh, maybe. Depends. Is Luke going to come? I'm keen to go there.
he'll be away.
It'll be good. And to be honest, if I look at who will win their MVP and who's been most improved, and I think about all those awards that are coming through, Alice Teague-Neal
She's
is
had a cracking season.
red hot to put her hand up. And it's really hard when you're comparing positions, like a shooter versus a mid-quarter versus a defender. They've had some real standouts. Sunday Ariang had another brilliant year. Katie Ann Dehaney was huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
She saved their bacon so many times.
she did.
And she probably didn't stand up in that grand final.
I thought she was pretty good at times.
She wasn't as effective as she probably could have been.
But did she get called a few times where you thought she got the deflection?
Yeah, true. And she was on a
you.
warning for a little bit, so I understand she had to pull back.
So funny when the umpire gives a warning. She's like, look, you're being naughty, and if you do it again, I'm going to send you. They send them off? Is that what they can do?
They can do a send-off, yes,
Yeah.
100%. And I was talking about this on the weekend with some of the biff that was going on the field in the footy.
There was a lot,
Can
wasn't
they
there?
do a send-off? Can the umpire just go, nah, get out of here?
Oh,
No.
the AFL, in junior sport, they do. They can have the red card situation. They haven't brought that into the AFL yet. But no, that was nothing. They're just having a good old wrestle.
Just behind the ball.
was a lot
It's just like
There
it's
was a
just
lot.
like you just hear the cha-ching of the funds like clocking
Oh, yeah,
up, right?
the AFL, like, you beauty.
Yeah,
They
Christmas
want them
party
to
stuff
stay
is
out
lit.
Party's going to be pumped.
Imagine that. Imagine if they had fines for netball. Because I guess your job as a defender on the netball court is to be a pain in the butt.
Yes,
Like you
it's an
are-
antagonistic position, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing your job, you're not being annoying, I would question why you're on the court.
yeah.
Yeah, and first of all, psychologically, you get in their heads early, and I said that to Sunday last week.
Oh,
Just a
did ya?
quick knee in the thigh.
Always great.
Shaun was
advice.
wanting to Sunday, the nicest person in the world, to injure her opponent so that she couldn't play out the game because it was a grand final. Because it's the grand final. Was
Grand
Dermot
final.
Brereton,
Hey,
right?
Thank you, Dermot
Yes.
Brereton.
Yeah, in the ribs.
Dipper.
Yep.
No, do you know who else had a cracker? Rudy Ellis.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Former
Brilliant.
West Coast
I didn't
Fever
know she was
player.
from
I
there.
know.
Yeah.
Former West Coast Fever player coming up against Janelle. What a battle there. I think
She was
played-
terrific.
From the first whistle, she contested every ball. And I think that set the tone to the umpire saying this is what she's going to be like for this game. And she probably got away with
Yeah,
a
she
lot
did.
more than some of the Fever defenders. But her and Joe Weston in particular, and the way that they shut down that Fever attacking end was
Yes, they made it very
Masterclass.
difficult for the mid-court players to feed into the circle.
Yep.
Very difficult.
Can't pass to each other in a hula hoop. I said it yesterday. Just can't do it.
Okay, do you want to talk to Seabass about anything else?
Yeah, Simon Goodwin is no longer the head coach at the Melbourne Football Club, Seabass. So they've had a bit of an interesting last few years. And 2021 is when they won the GF, but it's 4 years on since then. And there was players who were going to leave. You know, Chris Petrarca was trying to get out.
Yeah.
Clayton Oliver had all those issues, personal issues himself, but he was looking to get to Geelong. It seems to be a bit of unrest, and maybe the club are thinking this is the way we just end it and move to a next progression in their football life, I guess.
Yeah, it can be really tough. And I guess if you've got a standout coach who's floating around that you want to snap up, and I know you guys are talking about maybe Adam Simpson, and, you know, there's a couple of candidates floating around there. Is it the right time if things aren't going well? Or do you give him time to kind of turn things around? He does have a good relationship with a few of the senior players in the team. Does he have the respect of the coaching group? Does he have the respect of the board?
It seems
like, you know, it's really hard to do your job when you don't have that respect. So interesting. I can't wait to see what happens there. And, you know, is he going to be coaching this week, or is it like effective immediately?
I think it is effective immediately. Why would you want to send off anyway? I mean, you've just been booted.
Yeah, true.
He's been properly. They're not just mutually ending terms here. He's been told he's done. So next year he'll be paid out.
Yeah.
And they'll be looking for a new coach as of now, I would imagine.
Who do you think it should be?
Oh, there's too many guys. I was mentioning that before. There's too many people, unknowns that we don't.
Yeah, sort of assistant coaches at various clubs.
I mean, Ash Hanson's been in the system for a long time.
His name up. Yeah, but surely, there might be a job going at Carlton that maybe he would stick with that club. Yeah,
could be. Yeah.
Do coaches have agents, managers?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, right. It's just fascinating to think like it is. It's musical chairs.
Yes, those conversations are happening.
Yes,
we don't know about it.
During the season. And as a coach, you're picking the players that you want to play under you, and you're building a program. But once you go, then what happens to the rest of that program without you? Do you then try to poach players?
But they have list managers and stuff that are doing that, really, aren't they?
Yeah, the list manager has complete control. Yeah. It's only at the end
sometimes
when the coach comes in.
Yeah, that the coach, you know, it can be a bit debilitating for a coach is that they don't have as much say over the list.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the list manager's job. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the list manager say, these are the positions we need filled. Yep. These are the candidates. And the coach can say, well, I prefer this guy, or give me a look at his background, and they can certainly put their opinion forward and influence. Yeah. But list manager's job, full on that way. But Melbourne are in that position where they're down the bottom of the ladder at the moment. They've got some stars, and maybe they'll just start dealing a few guys like Richmond did and go to the draft.
Yeah, that's right.
They can be in a really ordinary position in the next 2 years with Tasmania coming in, because all the draft picks go to Tasmania for a few years.
Yeah.
It makes it so difficult.
Interesting times ahead.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
The news is out this morning. Simon Goodwin, the coach of the Melbourne Football Club, has been given the lemon and the sauce. His contract will end as of now. He will not coach the last 3 games at the Melbourne Football Club.
He's packed up his things.
Can I ask a quick question? Why would they sack a coach mid-season? What's the...
Well, it's not. We've only got 3 games to go.
Wow,
it's a good question, though, Ross.
They've still got a few games, yeah.
Okay, here's the reason why. Because you get to the end of towards the end of the season, and Simon Goodwin and his management team met with the Melbourne board last week, and whilst he came out and said he had the full backing, and he sold
that's the
his
first
vision,
red flag. Yes,
he sold his vision to the board. The board have had a conversation, and then they've elected next year not to go on with him, and they've informed him and his management that we will not go on with you next year. So then they all decide, let's just end it.
So this isn't a sacking, really. It's just a non-renewal of contract.
No, he has a contract for next year.
Oh, he does have one. Yes. Okay, so it is a sacking.
Yeah, it is a sacking. So, sorry, just for the case of everybody out there, he will be paid $1 million for his next season.
Is he all right?
To leave.
Oh, to not work?
To not work.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's a dream. That's lotto.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you love to get the axe from here and get paid $1 million?
Oh,
I know.
Oh, what are you going to do?
Yes, and it's not really controversial. It's just that we're doing a shit job, and I mean that could happen any minute. To be fair.
That's right. Oh, our boss is just at the door. That's
Dave got
any coincidence in the fact that I want to start a rumour. Adam Simpson's put his house on the market.
The rumour was started last week when he was on Fox Footy. They were asking Adam Simpson about the fact there could be a few jobs up for grabs. Yes. He said, as it stands as of today, which was last week, there aren't any jobs up for grabs.
But there are now.
And
Simo?
He didn't know whether he still had the fire to coach. He thought it was too early to know in himself whether he's enjoying what he's doing now or that he has a yearning to get back into the AFL
But that was
system.
a lot happened. A lot changes in a week, Shaun.
Certainly does now. I would think that he would be one of those guys that they would call straight away.
You would think so.
100%. North Melbourne, whether they're going to put Alastair Clarkson under the pump after this season as well, that could be another one. And Michael Voss, by the way, one of my favourites of all time, and he was in here last weekend when the Dockers beat them at Carlton. He will get the sack too.
Yeah.
That's pretty much sure. So Adam Simpson will be one of those names now that will be first.
Do you think that North Melbourne will get rid of Alastair Clarkson?
I don't think they've made any traction.
No, I know. I know that they were expecting miracles, but is it were people's expectations just too high, and then it takes a little while to turn around a team like that around?
Well, has he been there 4 years? 3 years?
Not 4 years, is it?
Get on the Google, mate.
Oh, what was the question?
How long has Alastair Clarkson coached to North Melbourne?
It's been a fair few years now.
A fair few.
I thought it was closing in on 4. Maybe it's 3 years.
Yeah, I think it might be 3 seasons.
Okay, so Minnie Walter coaching the West Coast Eagles first year in 3 years' time, 3 years in total time. Would you expect the team to have made some traction?
You'd expect so.
Otherwise, he would come under
Well, I mean,
pressure,
they've
wouldn't
gone from bottom to second bottom.
2023 to present.
Yeah.
he? 23, 24.
Yeah,
is his third season.
That's the reason I didn't use the counting. Sean used his fingers. I just avoided that.
Third season.
Yeah. And
season.
not enough changes.
Well, they previous to him coming on board, they'd already had a few years of transition, and like the West Coast Eagles, they've had years of transition before Minnie's came to that club.
Yeah.
So I know he needs to implement his own style of gameplay, but you would think this year North Melbourne would have climbed the ladder a lot higher. And so did they, because they swapped one of their draft picks to Richmond, believing that they would finish up higher on the ladder. And as it stands, they're going to finish second last. Richmond gets their draft pick.
Yeah.
And they'll have 2 and 3 in this year's draft.
Sean,
So,
sorry. 2023 to now, what is it again? How many?
3 seasons.
3.
Okay, that was worth the wait. The
Big
maths
Shaq, mate. Check him out, everyone. If you
the
haven't
maths
seen
is
Big Shaq,
faster
guys.
than the button pushing. Back to Melbourne. Who else do you think is realistically in the picture there?
They have always thrown up... Well, when the West Coast Eagles were looking for a new coach, remember there was a whole heap of guys who never put their hand up?
Yes.
And I would think there would be a couple, Gian Sirancusa, who's at Essendon. He might be one guy that would put his hand up to coach. But it would be always good to... I don't know who the young and aspiring guys are at the moment, but there's always someone who comes out of left field.
Yes.
And if they've got the
I guess
passion
like Minnie
for it-
McWalter did, you know. Yeah.
It is interesting, though, that Melbourne, as a club, everyone aspires, once they've been an assistant coach, most of them aspire to be a senior coach at some stage. But there's some places that you don't want to go to.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And I wouldn't want to go to Melbourne or North Melbourne because they'll never have the finances to compete with Collingwood, Carlton and the West Coast Eagles. And those teams will always get a leg up over you because they have the resources and the power behind them to make sure that you can be successful in a shortened period of time.
Yeah. I mean, Melbourne did win a premiership not that long ago.
Exactly, and they hadn't won one since 53. So the odds of them returning to the promised land are very low.
It's the Halley's Comet of football. All right, there you go. Shaun spoken.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.